Hey there, this is Chris Schwartz from KBid Online Auctions. Today I'm with Mr. Jon Tofte from Trader Auction Company down in Mason City, Iowa. One thing that we're trying to do is really spotlight some more of our affiliates, because what some buyers and some sellers may not realize is that every time that you buy from one of our affiliates in an online auction, you're actually supporting a local company like Jon's. He started last year. In last fall, he's got 40 auctions under his belt. So it's a small company in Mason City, Iowa, and our affiliates make up a network of about 120 auction companies, and Jon is one of them. Today we want to spotlight him a little bit, get to learn a little bit more about him, what he's doing down there in Mason City, and how potential buyers or sellers could utilize him and take advantage of some of the offerings that he's doing. So Jon, how are you doing this morning?
Great, thank you. I've been looking forward to this.
Yeah, no, this is our first interview style like this, so we're hoping it goes well, and we'll get through it. So I do have a few questions for you here, Jon, that I just want to go through, just to get to know you and your business and how you're doing. So first off, I wanted to kind of get some insight into why you got into the auction business. What drew you to the auction business and with KBid and getting this whole thing started?
Well, it's kind of a funny story because I was Googling certain equipment that I wanted to buy for what I thought was maybe going to be a woodworking business for side income.
Mm-hmm.
And Google kept taking me to KBid. Well, I noticed that KBid had the little tag in the corner says become an affiliate. I thought, well, that looks interesting. Well, I clicked it and here we go. So
So your interest in stuff got you into the KBid family.
I've always loved tools and that sort of thing and equipment. I come from an industrial background, so those things are just right up my alley, and it got me interested for sure.
Yeah, that's great. And a lot of the auctions that we do, industrial and tools, we certainly have estates and heavy equipment as well. It kind of runs the gamut there. So with that, what is your favorite part of the business so far? You've been doing this for about a year. You got a bunch of auctions under your belt. You're getting that experience. What do you like the most about what you're doing?
Everything in my career, Chris, has been customer service related. Whether it's been in retail management, whether it's been in industrial sales as an account manager with a large company, everything has been about creating a great customer experience, and that's what I really love about the auction business. Is I get to be independent, I get to make my own decisions, I get to come to work every day and work for the customer, and that's what's most gratifying for me. That's what gets me going.
Good, yeah, and you get a lot of touch points with customers. You get 100 buyers coming to an auction removal. That's a lot of conversations to have.
That's right.
Let's see. So speaking of buyers, do you have any advice or tips for new buyers who may not have any experience with online auctions and maybe looking at some of your stuff that you have coming up? And do you have any advice for a new buyer?
I would say that for those people who are maybe just getting started in the online world, is don't be afraid of it. Go for it. Also recommend that you, each auction that you bid on, that you take a close look at what the rules and expectations are for that auction. Anytime a new buyer comes on board, we want to make sure that everybody has a pleasant experience, and by making sure that they understand all of that information, I think that makes for a good transaction for everybody.
No, great point. And every auction on KBid will have the direct phone number, and some affiliates will list email addresses as well to get in contact. So if you do have questions, don't be afraid to pick up the phone, leave a message, or talk with the affiliate directly. They're going to be happy to walk you through the process and what you can expect. I think that's some really good advice. Now, on the opposite side of the coin, you've been helping a bunch of sellers down there. Like I said, you got 40 auctions under your belt. What type of auctions do you enjoy doing? What type of auctions are you, working on right now? And, what types of sellers would you be an ideal fit for going forward?
Well, anybody in Iowa who has items, assets, things of value that they want to sell. There's mostly almost anything that we can sell. The types of auctions that I see coming around right now is I've had several inquiries on estates. Just finished up an industrial auction with some equipment and building materials that were left over from construction. That was a very good sale. And also because we're here in a farm community, you know, we're in Cerro Gordo County, which is just the second county down into Iowa along Interstate 35. So we're pretty easy to get to from anywhere in Minnesota, quite honestly. Of course, in our county here, we have about 38,000 residents, but the outlying counties around us, the ring of counties around us, is very heavy into ag, as is much of Cerro Gordo County too. I come from an ag background myself. I was a farm kid growing up in Minnesota, and I live out in the country right now, and own a tractor and that sort of thing. So those things are all areas of interest to me. That's an area I would like to see us expand into here.
Cool. And you know, the unique and kind of nice part about KBID is you do see all types of auctions, and there's all types of buyers, and there's all types of sellers. So there's people on there that are looking for tractors, and there's people on there that are looking for couches from an estate sale. So it's kind of unique that you can help you know, people in different asset classes all through one venue. So that's a great service, I think, to people in your community.
A point to make about this area of Iowa, I think a lot of people think of it as a farm state, but there's also a tremendous amount of manufacturing that takes place in Iowa. Manufacturing is one of the top 2 industries in the state, top 2 or 3. And so manufacturing is huge. And you can see that with a lot of the products that are produced here. And they're not just all ag products either. I mean, there's things that are made for mining. We have the RV and recreational industry here that's very heavy. There's several different companies here in Iowa that do that. You get down into central and southern Iowa, you get into companies that build different types of construction equipment and that sort of thing. It's an exciting place to be. And so there's a lot of good equipment that comes out of this area. So if somebody out there is a buyer in a surrounding state, they might want to think about the auctions here that are offered through Trader Auction Company, because they might find what they're looking for. There's a construction industry around here too.
Yeah, no, all great points. If you have a potential seller or someone who's kind of thinking about starting to make those steps to selling, would you have any advice for them to kind of, you know, dip their toe in the water of, you know, what they can expect if they were to use Trader Auction Company?
Well, I guess, you know, speaking for my own company here, Trader Auction Company, I can make it as full service as you want it to be. If somebody wants to sell an asset or is thinking about selling an asset, you know, let's talk about what's the best way to do it. Do you have enough that justifies your own dedicated sale, or do you have something that can fit into a future consignment sale? All these are options. And then the other thing too is I do services here both on site at my own facility, as well as I do things out at the customer locations. So I just like to start it with a conversation. I want to understand kind of what your expectations are, you know, what your timeline is. Maybe have you done online auctions before? And then I want to make sure that you understand the ins and outs of how it works, that it's a timed auction format and approximately how long it takes.
Perfect. Yeah. And, you know, something that we don't always realize is a lot of the sellers that we're working with, they only have an auction one time. And, you know, they may not be a buyer for 20 years. So they don't understand the process and how it all works. And online auctions may seem like some faraway thing, but you know, starting that with the conversation, I think is really good advice. And, you know, taking a look at some of the auctions that are online right now and just kind of seeing what the process looks like. Yeah, I think that's a great piece of advice for anyone who's looking to sell or buy. Just start with the conversation. And with that, John, thank you so much for the time today. We appreciate appreciate getting to know you a little bit more and learning about your company. So how would people get in touch with you? How would they, start that conversation with you going forward?
So you can check out my website, www.traderauctioncompany.com, which will have some information on there. You can send me an email, northiowatrader@gmail.com, or you can call my business telephone, 641-450-1339. Sorry, I had to think about that one a moment.
That's a good number to know.
Also pretty active on Facebook too. So if you want to reach out through Facebook or Messenger, those are always options too.
Great. Well, you're very available. Well, again, we thank you for the time. It was great to get to know you a little bit more in your business, and we hope this was helpful for those out there who are potentially looking to either buy or sell with Trader Auction.
You got it. Well,
All
thanks. Right. We're here to
talk to you later.